away from the city down below. With its broad doors and white columns, it was a monument to its community. The pastor who had been preaching there for 40+ years had just retired, and the new one came in fresh out of Bible college. He carried inside of him a compelling love for Jesus and his people. But he began to feel pressure to grow the church at a very fast pace. That's why we're here today. The people of the church called together a meeting in order to think of ways to grow up the church. Let's listen. Good morning, congregation. I want to thank you for this unexpected meeting. I really did love all your calls, tweets, texts, and wall posts, but since this was your idea, any suggestions? The first lady up to the mic was not shy of speaking her mind. It was Miss Perkins. Good morning, church. Good morning. I just want to start off with some scriptures from the Bibles. Okay. In the abundance of the stomach, the mouth will speak. Now, I know, congregation, that's not exactly correct, but for the church to grow, this food needs to go. I am tired of eating this drywall for communion bread, and I am definitely tired of drinking this great value brand of grape juice. I know my Welch's when I taste my Welch's. Pastor, I'm just saying people will come to the church for food. Thank you. As Miss Perkins left the stage, a bond could be seen bobbing to and fro. It was Jeanette Haskins, with her little boy by her side with his wheat-flavored roll-up in one hand and his Bible Man action figure in the other. She approached the stage. Good morning, congregation. Good morning, Pastor. What this church needs to grow is better child care. Let me tell you, Pastor, I pulled up today in my Honda Odyssey, and let me tell you, those hooligan teenagers definitely took my expected mother's space. Now, me and the triplets had to walk an extra 10 feet to reach the nursery. It clearly states in Scripture that if Cain was homeschooled, Abel would still be alive today, and Islam would no longer be the religion it is. Can you believe that? It's a fact, Pastor. I just want to thank everybody for their time. Thank you. As Miss Haskins left the stage, a guy who was quite tech-savvy approached it. With his iPhone in his pocket and his iPad in hand, he walked towards the mic with his immaculate plan. Yum. Oh, hello, congregation. I was just finishing a game of Angry Birds. Anyway, I think this church will go if we just upgrade everything. I say we put 50-inch screens in all of the lobbies, and I say we put a flat screen in every bathroom. Now, let me tell you, I'm thinking about how we're going to get this money. I know you're thinking, you're crazy, Kevin. But I think the way to go is that we keep the old school paper bulletins, and we just use Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, Pastor, for your consideration. As the pastor was about to wrap the meeting up, a stranger came forth. He approached the microphone and he said, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm compelled to say something to this church. I started coming here a few months ago, and at first I was really impressed. I thought this was completely different from the church I grew up in, at first. But once you saw my face consistently, you suddenly seemed to forget about me. Is all I am to you is just a tithe in the basket? Is that it? Do you even care about me as a person? Did you know that my wife, she left me 3 months ago? She couldn't stand my drinking. And my daughter, she won't even talk to me unless I buy her something. So I couldn't take it. I found myself that night in my hotel room, revolver to my mouth, ready to take my life, when I saw him, Jesus. He showed me his scars and what he did for me, and I accepted him that night. And I wanted to find him here in the church, but you pushed him out. You want numbers so badly that you're compelled to do everything except for what you're supposed to do. Love. The stranger left the church that night, never to return. And the congregation grew angry, and they blamed everybody except for themselves. They became blind to the message God desired to reveal to them that night. But the question that remains is this destined to happen in your church? Will you let someone else have a bigger vision for your church than you do? Or will you be compelled by the reason God gave his only son? The reason Jesus died on the cross, and the reason the church was started in the first place? Compel your life. Love. What compels you?